The following program discusses content that may be sensitive to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Every crime has a story behind it. These stories are told by the people who lived it. This is Victims' Voices with Nicole Johnson.
Thank you for joining us on Victims' Voices. Our next guest is Jennifer Porter. She survived a decade of abuse in an on and off again relationship. That abuse escalated to violence over the years. In December, she was hospitalized 3 times, including after being stabbed by her partner's mother. But Jennifer survived all of that, and she's here with us today. Thank you for taking the time.
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Overwhelmed, overstimulated, just over most things. I'm just appreciative of life at this point.
Yeah. The abuse we're talking about escalated to violence, even up until days ago, recently this year. Talk to us about that.
We were friends before anything, so I felt like we could surpass anything, our relationship, as far as our love relationship was concerned. So the first couple of years, it was no violence. But then I guess you say, when the mask comes off on a person, you get to see who they really are. And it just got worse and worse.
Talk to us about when it first started and what kind of violence are we talking about? Are we physical, emotional, abuse?
It started off verbally. Like, people would tell me I was beautiful or whatever, and he would be like, don't gas her up and don't. And now that I sit back and think about it, I should have known that it was going to go into physical abuse, but I wasn't aware that that's how it starts. It starts verbally, and then it goes from disrespect to physical.
And when did that start? Early on in the you said early on it was fine. So at what point?
So I'm gonna say about the 4th year in is when the verbal assault, like it was the verbal disrespect, always trying to belittle me or make me feel like it's just weird. And then when the physical came in, it just became overbearing.
And when you say physical abuse, I know you've been stabbed. I've seen the pictures. I know you had broken bones. Talk about what you've endured over the years.
It started out with, and you can look on my neck, I have several choke marks. Like, it started off with just choking, and then it became more physical. And 2 years ago, in November, he fractured 2 of my ribs. And I stayed away from him for like a month. And then, the heart is the heart, and I forgave him. So, nobody should have to endure pain from love. Love shouldn't equal up to pain. Nothing prepares you for, when you love a person, that you're going to experience these things, because you never know who a person is until you really know who a person is. I know that probably doesn't make any sense, but we all act like we know who we're dealing with, but you really never know who you're dealing with.
Understood. When did the mask come off? When you finally realized who you were dealing with?
About 2 years ago. When we got into a really bad fight in an apartment, and the only way to get him off of me, I had to take the top of the toilet thing and crash it over his head. And I should have known to walk away then, but I didn't. I took it as him being just drunk.
No one should have to experience what you experienced. At what point did you go and seek help?
I started praying more. I started reading the Bible more. I started focusing on things outside of our relationship, which helped me focus on me. And then though that just made the arguments turn into, oh, so you're too busy for me. And it's like, but if I'm around you too much, then I'll get abused. So if I'm not around you so much, then I won't get abused.
So you go in to get help. What did you do? Did you file a police report? Did you go speak with a counselor? Talk about that help.
9 months ago, I started taking anger management because I started to think I was the problem because I was getting abused to the point where I started abusing back. And I'm not even a fighter. I think I'm too cute to fight. But at what point can a person take so much and endure so much to the point of no return? So I had to start fighting back. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to... They say in order to be forgiven, you gotta forgive. So I kept forgiving, and I can't forgive no more. I can't. I honestly thought that all the love that I loved him with would have changed him. And it doesn't change anything because it just got worse, worse, worse. It was to the point where I used to be his safe haven, his peace. And now it seems like I'm his enemy. To the point where his mother stabs me and say, you broke my son's heart. And I wind up in the hospital on Christmas Eve with internal bleeding from these altercations. Now Christmas will probably never be the same for me because that was just in December.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sorry, I'm just a little overwhelmed.
Oh, no, I definitely understand. Let's take a break. We'll take a quick break.
We now return to Victims' Voices with Nicole Johnson.
Thank you, Jennifer. We're going to continue the conversation. We were talking about an incident Christmas where your partner's mother assaulted you.
She actually assaulted me on the 12th of December. On Christmas Eve, he told me I could collect my belongings and the money he owed me. He verbally assaulted me, and that's how I wound up with internal bleeding. I said I didn't want to fight. I pushed him away. He kicked me. The whole police report, and I had to run through a park to get away from him. The park that's on 145th and Bradhurst or whatever.
What was going through your mind at that point?
That I believed that I could get my stuff, and it was going to be okay, and it wasn't going to result in violence because his mother had just stabbed me prior to that, so I didn't think he was going to assault me.
And you went to the police. So what happened? We're talking a mother and son.
They didn't lock him up until his mother called the cops on him. They got into an altercation, say the 27th or 28th, and she called the cops on him. And when they came, they ran his name and found out that I had a domestic violence incident with him, and they're having a domestic violence incident, so they locked him up.
What about the mother? Did she ever...
She got locked up the same day she stabbed me.
Okay.
I passed out. I lost like a pint of blood. I passed out a block away from their home, and I was on the phone with my brother, and I was trying to make it to my car because I know I was losing a lot of blood, but I have like a first aid kit in my car, and I couldn't even make it to my car. My car was literally on Riverside, and I passed out in between Amsterdam and Broadway.
So we're talking this physical violence. There's a physical toll on your body. You're stabbed. You have broken bones, bruises, cuts. But emotionally, you're going through a huge emotional breakdown. Describe that for us. And what did you do to get help?
I just been praying more. I just been trying to find inner peace through the chaos. Because 3 times in 1 month from the same family is a lot. To the point where the state actually picked up the case on his mother. They don't even care about her age. They picked it up because they said it was like attempted murder because she stabbed me in my neck and my arm. So, and I actually was gonna stop the charges before he assaulted me the last time.
So you had a sense of forgiveness. You wanted the charges to go away, and then it happened again.
Yeah. And it's not gonna stop.
So even most recently, you do have a restraining order, right?
His birthday was yesterday. I actually went to his birthday gathering and he assaulted me again. The
What?
picture, you said you saw the pictures, the bruise right here and the one on my face, that was from yesterday.
So what made you go to the party?
I actually wanted closure. And I know it sounds weird, but I feel like if you love, love is unconditional. So I wanted closure so I could move on and love another. I just wanted to know, like, why you couldn't stop putting your hands on me? Like, was I the only one? Like, I had questions and still got no answers to.
And then, so what happened at the party? He assaulted you then?
He waited till everybody left, and then when I declined sexual things, it turned violent.
And what went through your head at that point? Because you went there for closure, as you said. You went there to just
I felt
find
like
peace.
a sexual object. Like, women are just treated like Barbie dolls that you could take off the shelf and whenever it's convenient to play or toy with them. And I wish him nothing but peace and blessings.
Yeah.
But I know I can't be there for him to give him that. And I tried. And I tried over and over and over. And I have the scars and emotional pain to prove it.
What do you want to say to people who may not understand this level of abuse, or there's also misconceptions on why didn't you leave sooner and get help? Why did you stay?
You can't change a person that don't want to be changed. They have to make the initiative and want to change. I kept feeling like I could change him, like my love could save him somehow. But it can't. You have to want to be a better person in order to be that person. If not, you're gonna let the cycle continue. So that's why I'm stopping the cycle and I'm just letting go.
Yeah, you wanted to speak out and tell your story, send a message to other women or men or children out there that may experience abuse. What do you want to say to them?
Love is just a 4-letter word that tells so many people, but most people don't mean it. And don't take love for granted, and love yourself a little harder than you do your partner. Because you never know when you could be sitting in the hospital 3 times in 1 month fighting for your life. Scared to go to the corner store because y'all live in the same neighborhood. Like, you'll never know.
Any challenges that you may have faced trying to get help, trying to get the authorities to stop him? I remember you said he was arrested, the mom was arrested, but they're free walking the streets
They got released on
to this day.
ROR or whatever that is. She, if I'm not mistaken, used to work for the police department or something. She used to do something for the police department. So the precinct that actually locked them up is called the 3030, the 30 precinct on 151st in between Amsterdam and I think that's Convent.
Mm-hmm.
And they act like, oh, it's nothing. It took me 2 months to get a restraining order in the mail. It took the DA over 2 weeks to call me and tell me about the case.
How did you feel going through that process and seeing that delay?
That it's no justice out there for a girl my color. And it's sad because I know if I was another, it would have never happened that way. And it's sad to say that because I have people in my family that are different colors and I see how they get treated when it comes to police activity. But it's messed up because you want to see justice, but where's the real justice if you got to wait so long for justice? And I understand that the caseload of the city might be packed up, but when it comes to domestic violence, I feel like women are overlooked and not looked at enough. Because they feel like, oh, you're just gonna go back to them. And it's like, okay, but maybe if you help me stay away from him, then I'll stay away. But if you're not giving me the resources and help, then I might like fall back. I'm not talking about me, but I'm just talking about other situations. And it's messed up when you feel like you don't know who to run to because you can't even call the cops on people because in Harlem, they take forever to come.
And you're still in Harlem.
Yeah, I still live in Harlem.
Talk about your day-to-day. Are you walking around looking over your shoulder? Were you...
Yeah. I'm just sleeping majority of the time now. Trying not to be depressed, but I'm just sleeping and reading. It's helping me not think about the pain. Occasionally, I'll go out and have a drink, but then as soon as I get around a group of people and I get nervous, like, is he in the crowd? So then I can't even enjoy myself.
What do you want to see happen to him at this point?
I want him to change. Whether with or without me. And I always thought I was the one that could change him. And I think that's the hardest part. A decade, 12 years of friendship, 10 years of being in a relationship with each other. It just takes a toll on your mental to think that you thought you knew a person, but you really didn't know them. Because like I said, the first couple of years, we weren't fighting. And I guess like once the mask came off, once I finally realized who he was and calling him out on his, on his flaws or whatever, even though everybody has flaws.
Yeah.
But like I said, it started out as choking. And then it got physical. So it's like, it just, like a ladder, it just escalated higher and higher.
Thank you so much for sharing and telling this story. And thank you for being strong. We will continue the conversation. We will offer resources and help. And hopefully we'll talk again.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching Victims' Voices. I'm Nicole Johnson. Until next time. If you are a victim and need help, go to our website at pix11.com/resources.